Knew what to expect, knew when to sub, and just had a solid game plan at the end of the day.
Is there a difference, I guess, preparing for a left-handed quarterback in terms of where his repercussions go, or does that not really matter? Okay.
No, I mean, there definitely is, especially depending on if it's a mobile quarterback. Usually if it's a right-handed quarterback, he wants to roll to his strong side. This time, being a left-handed quarterback, obviously, you kind of switch that mindset around a little bit.
Just how big of a statement was this to open conference play with?
I feel like it was a huge statement. I feel like we went out there, showed what we could do both offensively and defensively. We played good complementary football. Like I said, I'll say it again, I just can't be more happy with our play.
How do you feel like you guys were able to play defense against their tempo?
I feel like we handled it really well. I mean, like I was saying, just came in with a good game plan, knowing that when they sub, we're going to sub too, and just, knew how to handle it, didn't let it get the best of us, and, just feel like we were well prepared at the end of the day.
How much of that is, coming out with momentum early? You guys forced a 3 and out. You guys were able to build a lot of stops. How much does that help,
It's huge. I mean, definitely. If you could get them in a position defensively where, they have to start airing the ball out a little more and, start thinking about their play calls, kind of allows us to slow the game down ourselves and, focus on our own game, and just react out there.
Dealt with a little bit of injury early on this season, before the season. What was it like to come out today? 7 tackles, sacked, that sort of thing.
Right. I mean, it meant a lot. Finally, this week started feeling like myself again. I'm really just looking to carry this momentum into the rest of the season and just keep this thing rolling.
Which practice did you start to feel like yourself, and why? What happened during that practice?
I would say, honestly, just earlier in this week, I feel like I kind of turned a corner, with those little nagging injuries I've been dealing with. My trainer's been dealing with them, relentlessly, and of course on the field, my coach is taking care of me, just making sure I'm well prepared for this game, both physically and of course mentally, just really got me well prepared.
Yeah, what does the mental approach look like at the same time of getting away those injuries, mentally putting it away in your mind?
Sure, I mean, sometimes there could be a bit of a mental block when you're coming back from a minor injury, not being sure if you could throw certain moves that you're used to throwing, and this week, as it progressed on, I just continue feeling more comfortable and just, like I said, feeling like myself again, just getting active out there.
How much did the bye help with that too, just having an extra week to get back to 100%?
Yeah, the bye week was huge, honestly. I'll give a lot of credit to that. And like I said, my trainers for just working with me relentlessly throughout this whole week and the week before that, and just we're going to continue just hammering away at it all season to make sure I'm ready to play at my peak level.
You guys as a team have had a lot of success off bye weeks. How much of that do you feel like is just being able to be fresh, getting an extra week to prepare? What do you feel about that?
Right, I mean, I definitely feel like that plays a huge factor at the end of the day. Getting an extra week to prepare both physically and mentally when you're watching film 2 weeks in advance on another team really allows you to come in with a good game plan, and especially when you look at a team like West Virginia who goes with a lot of tempo, just having that extra time to prepare, I feel like it meant a lot for us as a team.